Hey guys, if you ever needed proof that big finds do come in small packages, well, just stay tuned and I'll prove it to you. Well, hello everyone. Hope you are doing well. It is Monday night here actually, and we just got done with a weekend of thrifting. Jess and I decided to go out to some estate sales this past weekend. There weren't any garage sales in the area, so we decided to hit some estate sales. We ended up going to 3 different estate sales in 3 different counties. We didn't end up getting a whole ton of stuff, but I'll walk you through everything that we picked up. Well, here is everything, and of course it doesn't look like a whole lot at first glance, but as the title of this video suggests, the big finds do come in small packages. So let me walk you through what we picked up, and I'll let you judge for yourself whether or not you think that's true. So we'll start over here on the left. These 2 items were picked up at the first estate sale that we went to. We paid $3 for both of these. This is a 2003, my bad, Lullaby glowworm. And we had found an original glowworm at a Goodwill a couple weeks back, and it didn't even have the inside battery pack or the light. It was just the outer shell, but it was in excellent condition. Oops. As you can hear, this thing is in need of a new battery. Ooh, but it does work. But to finish with my story, we found an original glowworm at a Goodwill, paid I think $5 for it. Of course, their plush prices are just insane now. But we ended up selling it for about $30 because it was in such excellent condition. So when we saw this, I was kind of hemming and hawing because it is, of course, so dirty. So we'll definitely have to clean this one up before we can list it. But I think it might bring about $15 or so. That's what I saw the comps, at least when I checked. So $1.50 into 15, hopefully. We'll see what happens with that. I picked up this baby bot plush here as well. Paid, again, $1.50 for it. Didn't look it up, but I figured it was cheap enough where we could just give it a shot. So $3 for that. The last sale I'll do next, we paid, I think, $7 for all this stuff, these 3 things. So it was a 50% off sale. Had this plush Royal Canadian Mounted Police plush. I have sold one of these before, but I thought that it had a uniform. So it either is missing its uniform or this was just a different model. But either way, figured I'd give it a go. I thought this cool Nightmare Before Christmas mug was pretty neat. I like the black on orange. It obviously reminds me of Halloween colors, but pretty cool. And I have sold these a couple of times in the past too. These are Deneen pottery mugs. I think that's the company that makes them. And I've seen logos from different stores across the country, so it's not unique to this establishment, but figured I'd give this one a shot. Like I said, I've sold a few of these in the past, and they tend to do fairly well, but I've never seen one for this. I guess that's what, Jay's Pastry Shop, Pensacola. Hopefully they make good things. So paid $7 for all that. And the second sale actually was this stuff. Picked up this nice tall Starbucks mug. It's one of those ones you can write on it. Nothing major, just bread and butter item. Picked up this cool original Care Bear. This one was from, I believe, 1983. Yep, Kenner. So definitely dirty though. So we'll plop him into a pillowcase and put him through the washing machine with some OxyClean. We did that a few days back with some plush that we picked up at the bins, and they came out great. So I don't think that we'll have any issue cleaning this guy up. Picked up a Hard Rock Cafe pin. I know this stuff doesn't go for a ton, but I know it's collectible, so someone out there might want it. Found this old Casio quartz watch, which I thought was neat. It was in really good shape. There's a few minor scratches on the crystal, and I looked up the movement model just to see if there was any solds. I didn't really find anything, and I got to try to find a battery for it. It may not even work, I don't know, but definitely couldn't pass that up. And then the final piece, which is the smallest of all of them, and of course is the kind of namesake to our video, was this little Jesus cross that I literally picked it up on a whim. So this was in, of course, a drawer with all this other jewelry stuff that most estate sales have up by the by the register. And so I was kind of looking at it. It was really a dimly lit room. There wasn't a whole lot there. And I'll bring it up here. And of course, most of you will understand what that is already. But all that I saw at the time was STER. So I knew it was sterling. So that's the reason why I got it. Ended up only being $1. So we paid $1 for each of these things. So 5 total. And yeah, it turns out it's a discontinued James Avery sterling silver pocket charm. So yeah, that's the James Avery logo. As I was looking at it, I'm like, I've seen that before. And of course, I did a Google image search and it comes right up. And so this, like I said, is retired. Now, I brought it into our local James Avery store because they do offer lifetime cleaning on all of their items. It was tarnished slightly, and so they did a fantastic job on it. And so I'm going to try to throw up some comps that I saw next to this here, but I think I'm going to try to list this pretty high. So I saw the sold comps anywhere between either 80 or 150, which is awesome. So for $1 pickup for something that's probably about an inch or so tall, that's not a bad pickup at all. So super psyched with that. I'll of course keep you updated if and when it sells. But like I said, I think that was a pretty cool find. So obviously, definitely the smallest package here will yield probably the biggest bite. So couldn't pass those up. Just wanted to pass those along and show you guys what we picked up. And I guess we'll do some what solds now. Well, before we get into the what solds, I wanted to kind of do a quick experiment to see if we could wash these things and what the results were going to be. So I ended up opening up the back of this glow worm, and I was pleased to find that this was inside. So this was the whole battery unit and light bulb, which is great because I can just remove that and not have to wash that. So obviously it goes without saying that you don't obviously want to wash any sort of the battery components or whatever, but what's left is just this outer shell and the face. So as you can see, it's pretty dirty. There's a lot going on here, so hopefully that'll all clean up pretty nice. And then as far as the Care Bear goes, I took out that bow, and obviously all of his spots remain. So the process that I typically use for newer plush is I just chuck them right into the washer. But because these are both fairly old, this one obviously older than the other one, I'm going to take one extra layer of precaution and plop each of these in its own pillowcase and kind of close it off with a rubber band. And then I'll plop them into the washer, and hopefully we'll see some spectacular results. I don't know if you can hear me with the water filling up, but as you can see, I'm just going to plop these right on in. And the next step is to add the detergent and the OxiClean for sure. I found that OxiClean is a really great cleaner for these types of plush animals. So I'll add those and we'll check back when this is done. Okay, well, the wash and spin cycle is done, and so now is the time for the big reveal. So hopefully these have turned out pretty well. So I undid them already with the rubber bands because I knew I wouldn't be able to do that while holding the camera, but let's take a look. Wow, really came out nice. Really don't see any stains here on the front, which is awesome. And I know there are all those brown stains on the back. Look at that. They are all gone. That is brilliant. So, amazing. Oh, unfortunately, it did look like it got the tag. So that is one downside. So I noticed that all the lettering on the tag is gone. I should have probably taken a picture of the tag before I washed them, but I didn't think that was going to happen. So I guess that's a good thing to know for next time. But, you know, no harm, no foul. Well, I'd rather have a clean bear than one that's horrendously dirty and still a readable tag. So, well, let's check out the glowworm next. Oh my, that also looks amazingly well. So no stains on the hands. The face looks clean, the hood, really nice. Body nice and clean. If we look at the back here, yeah, that star. So excellent. I wonder how this tag fared. Well, yeah, I guess this tag took a bit of a hit as well. You can see that it's really faded now. So that's one thing to note, I guess. I didn't realize that the tag would take a hit, that big of a hit, at least after one wash. So good to know for next time. Take a picture of the tag prior to washing, just so that you can have the reference information from it. But all in all, you know, not too bad. I'm actually happy that they turned out as well as they did. So I guess look for these in an upcoming What Sold video, and thank you for watching this portion. All right, now it's time to run through some sales from our various stores. As always, we will start off with eBay, and the sales dates that we're talking about for this round range from about January 21 to February 3 of 2024. So starting off eBay, we have this vintage 1984 Olympic Games from Sarajevo, Yugoslavia, enamel lapel hat pin, and it sold for $9.99 plus shipping. Next up was an item from our Gina consignment sale. This was a Wonder Nation boys size large black and white short sleeve raglan t-shirt. This sold for $3.99 plus shipping. This next item was a consignment sale from our youngest daughter Melina. She was starting to sell off some of her Squishmallows. This was Carmelita, an 8-inch s'more stuffed plush animal toy from, of course, Kelly Toys. She sold on a best offer of $12.87 plus shipping. Next up, we had this Despicable Me 10-inch tall Minion Dave plush, and he ended up selling for $6.99 plus shipping. Shortly before this sale, the buyer had reached out to me asking if certain parts of this were indeed plastic, and I thought that would actually rule out the sale, but she said, nope, that's great, and it turns out this is going to be a feast for her dog. Following that, we had this 2008 Nickelodeon Viacom SpongeBob SquarePants Christmas tie. This sold on a best offer of $9.19 plus shipping. Next up, we had this new seal Disney Fairies jigsaw puzzle. This was a 100-piece puzzle, which sold on a best offer of $6.57 plus shipping. This next item was a fairly quick sale. This was a Honer Pocket Pal 10-key harmonica in the key of C, and it sold for $8.99 plus shipping. Next up, we had this pair of Imaginext figures. This was, of course, Zan and Jaina, the DC Wonder Twins, and these together sold for $9.99 plus shipping. The next eBay item to sell was another Gina consignment sale item. This was a pair of new without tags, silhouette size 26W, black semi-stretch casual pants, and these sold on a best offer of $9.19 plus shipping. The next item up was this Max Factor 3-pack of Midnight Mahogany lipstick. This sold for $14.99, free shipping. The next item up was another Gina sale. This was a new without tags vintage Miller heather gray pullover sweatshirt, and this sold for a best offer of $9.29 plus shipping. Next up, we had this Vera Bradley all-in-one crossbody purse. This was a retired pattern called Resort Medallion, and this sold for $11.99 plus shipping. One of the nice things that Vera Bradley's website does a record of all of its retired patterns. So if you do happen to come across an old Vera Bradley pattern that you're not familiar with, you can definitely check out this page and scroll through it until you find the one that matches yours. I've used it on almost every single Vera Bradley item that we've purchased, and it has come in super handy. I'll drop the link to the archive patterns page in the description section of this video. The next item up was in fact another Gina item. This was a new without tags, vintage men's size large, dark green sweatshirt on a Premier Sportswear tag, and this sold for $9.99 plus shipping. Up next, we had a really good sale. This was a pair of Nike Kyrie 4 men's size 13 Keep Sue Fresh sneakers. These sold for $99.99 plus shipping. Now, when these shoes sold, they did fall under eBay's authenticity guarantee. So I sent these into their authenticators and they came back as authenticated. So they are now on their way to the buyer. The next item up was yet another Gina sale. This was a new with tags women's Liz Claiborne petite multicolored striped shirt, which sold for $9.99 plus shipping. If you happen to catch the last video about Legos being on my brain, this item should be pretty familiar to you. This was the Lego Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle, set number 4842. It was, of course, 100% complete with minifigs, manuals, and box. This ended up selling for $99.99 plus shipping. The next sale was also a Lego Harry Potter. This was set number 4841, Hogwarts Express. It was also 100% complete with minifigs, manuals, and box. And this one sold for $59.99 plus shipping. Next up, we had this lot of 3 Sony normal bias blank cassette tapes. And together these sold for $9.99 free shipping. Next up was this pair of new in box Beyblade Burst Super Grip launchers. Together these sold for $14.99 free shipping. We found a huge lot of these at a local Goodwill a long time ago, and they've just been slowly selling some bread and butter items, and these were in fact the last 2 to go. This next sale was kind of fun. It was an Imaginext figure. It was from the Series 3 blind bags, and this was the creature from the Black Lagoon or the Swamp Monster, and he sold for $8.99 plus shipping. Now, if I recall correctly, I probably had found this in a toy bin or some sort of loose random figure bin at a garage sale. Probably didn't pay any more than a quarter or 50 cents for them. And selling them for $9 plus shipping, I'll take that any day. The next item up was this Lego Visual Dictionary. This was the expanded and updated edition with the Luke Skywalker minifigure, and it sold for $9.99 plus shipping. Next up, we had this pair of Harley-Davidson t-shirts. These were both new with tags, found at a local Goodwill, and these together sold for a $28 best offer plus shipping. And the last eBay item to sell from this time period was in fact this Vera Bradley zip-around wallet wristlet in the Botanica pattern. This ended up selling for $16.99 plus shipping. And let's quickly run through some Mercari sales as well from roughly the same time frame. Topping off the list was this Thomas & Friends Caldi. He was a purple mountain engine from the Take Along diecast series. He sold for $7 plus shipping. Next up, we had this new sealed USA-shaped puzzle called Road Trip America. It was a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. We ended up taking a best offer on this piece for $11.25 plus shipping. This next sale was the best one of this video by far. This was a lot of 92 various metal, rock, pop, 1980s audio cassettes, all tested. Altogether, these sold for $325 free shipping. I found the majority of these tapes at a garage sale. I believe it was either last summer or the summer before. Somebody was obviously getting rid of their collection. The lady gave me a really good price on them because she just wanted to get rid of them. So I tested them all out, called out the ones that had either broken or no longer worked, and it was a really good payoff. Next up, we had this Hasbro Galactic Heroes Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi Starfighter from the Revenge of the Sith series. This ended up selling for $12 on a best offer plus shipping. Following that, we had this super cute anthropomorphic ramen noodle pin. We ended up selling him for $10 plus shipping. The next item was this vintage handmade crochet black granny square Afghan throw blanket. And we sold this on a best offer of $17.50 plus shipping. And the last Mercari sale of this video was this Vans Off the Wall men's size XL double-breasted black cotton pea coat, which sold in less than an hour for $37 plus shipping. And rounding out today's video, we'll zip through a quick couple of sales on Poshmark. First up from Poshmark, we had this super cute double-handle brown sock monkey mug. Ended up selling for $7 plus shipping. Next up, we had this Elfani purse. This was a new old stock purse from our Gina consignment lot. Ended up selling this for $15 plus shipping. And the last item from Poshmark and the last sale of this video was this men's black pyramid size 3XL gold Los Angeles Lakers embossed fabric t-shirt. Sold this for $42 plus shipping. Well, that is about all that I have for today's video. If you enjoy this kind of content, by all means, please like this video and consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help us out quite a bit. And with that, I will see you on the next one.